Hello, my YouTubers. I haven't been on here for a while. It's been a minute, and I thought I would jump on and say that I'm doing very well, and for anyone out there who's listening, that there's stages of recovery that we have to go through. I know my first stage in recovery was really getting through to that year and putting my head down to rest, not using and not drinking. It was extremely tough, and every day was a challenge. And some days I just thought, what's the point? But I kept going. And then we're going to second stage, and the second stage is where you start to learn how to adapt to the world. And for instance, getting a car and getting a job and holding a job. I got a house as well, and I had to learn if I could actually live alone, because when no one's watching, you can do that secretly, right? So you have to learn to be able to hold these everyday things without using, and that took me a year. So I worked for a year and I didn't fuck up. I usually last about 6 months at a job, and then I relapse, because I go to a stage where I feel disconnected to my own self. And many years I couldn't understand that feeling, so I would go back to using. Now it's just a play of an out-body experience when you have a lot of trauma going on in the past. And then the third year is to heal and just get your stuff together, So you've gone through that first year, and there's going to be relapse and slip-ups, but you've gone through that first year. You felt that, what it feels like to last a year, and then you're really getting around how to hold things together. And then the third year is really getting you sorted, and there's a lot of healing going on these 3 years. There's a lot of healing. I did a lot of healing. I'm not completely healed. Tomorrow I go see a counselor, but I'm not completely there yet. And just really getting into a routine, a daily routine of things that stop you from going back to your old life. For me, I have to meditate, and I have to listen to a meditation. I have to listen to a motivational movie in the morning, and I have to do fitness. Now, when it comes to my 3 years, my whole 3 years, I went hard. And the reason why I went hard is because any second I had to sit alone, I thought about using. So this year, I made it 3 years. Like 30th will be 3 years since I started this recovery. But there was a piece that was released. I went to on the 11th of this, what was that, January. I come 1 years old from drinking and using. I hadn't touched it for a whole year because I've had relapses in these 3 years, and I come 1 year. And there was a feeling of peace released. I did that birthday, and then I felt really shitty afterwards, because when there's a win, there's a low. I went really down, like severely down, but I just bunked in. I stayed in bed, and I just had to get through it. And then when I rose from this feeling, there was a peace, because I've been fighting to get over that year for the last 3 years. I've been fighting. I made it, the first year I made it to a year and 3 days. And then the next 2 years, I had to try to get there again. And before that year come, in this year, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be successful recovering addict, It really laid on if I could pass that year again. And it was scary, because I thought about using and drinking for 3 years straight, I'm thinking, fuck, am I even going to get this? Like, this is unfair, for me to get this. And even on my birthday, when I turned 1, I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease as well. But all this preparation and all this hardness I created, it didn't hit me as hard as it would have hit me if I was a year into my recovery. But yeah, just remember the 3 stages and really finding your shadow. Now, a shadow is the unconscious soul. And, my unconscious soul has been dead for many, many years. I've only just got to know my soul, and what an incredible person I am inside, I didn't feel much, I didn't know much. And it was just a real hard time fitting in when I just didn't feel connected or alive, you know. And then I got recovery, and I something opened up, and I started to experience myself, you know, and really discover this brokenness and this soul that was never there. It was unconscious. And I've done a lot of soul searching. And if you ever looking to change the old ways of yourself and heal that past, it's called shadow work. And that's what I've been doing. And I only just found this out the other day. But the funny thing is, I've been doing this for 3 years, shadow work, without knowing that there was shadow work to be done. And it just, when I watched this video the other day, it just went, and it just hit me. I thought, fucking wow. So I was on my own spiritual journey, and, you know, I do a lot of research in, like, regarding myself and the way I feel and my mental illness. You know, I didn't know what I had until I got off the drugs, and all this stuff started coming to the surface, like social anxiety, outside phobia, all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, wow, this is why I used to use, because I am fucked up. So I did a lot of research on the person I am and what I'm going through, and I discovered a lot. And this is what's important in recovery. You have to come obsessed with yourself and understanding you, because only you can change you. And I put myself into this 3-year training, and I just went deep as I could go. And, you know, it's been an incredible journey. You know, I hated it for 3 years, but I'm looking back now, and it's really incredible, and I'm grateful to have made it, you know, because it's not many people make it out of drug addiction. And I was a meth head for 17 years, and 2% make it out. So I'm one of the lucky ones. But I never considered myself lucky until this year. So it's a 3-step situation, and it's really just get to bed that day and set your routine and get through that day to start again tomorrow. Even if you just get up, you have a coffee, you do some writing, and your routine's small, it doesn't matter. Just do your routine, and as you go along, you can add more and more. That's what I did. You know, my week was Mondays I do this, Tuesdays I cook, Wednesdays I shop. So I had 5. My routine was just the 7 days, right? And then now I've got a daily routine that I'm pretty hardcore with, you know, and I don't not do what I have to do, because I'm very aware if I get, you know, not doing my meditation, that I'm going to relapse. So always be aware that you've always got to tame that addiction, because it still lives in you. It still lives in you, but you got to work out how to really keep it tame. And it's never going to go away. Like, it never goes away. It's just how you maintain yourself to function, you know, and to get through things. And things are going to happen that's going to really upset you, and then addiction's going to come up and go, hooey, you know, have a drink or have a smoke or whatever else. But just be very aware of your surroundings and and find your triggers. You know, your triggers are in your shadow. And this is the things that I'm just learning now through this shadow is just mind-blowing. I'll have to get her name. She's on YouTube, and I was watching her videos, and every video I watch is just really, you take it in, and it's you understand it more deeply, you know, because I was never a deep person. I was always, you know, shut off, not happening, you know. Now I'm right in here. I can feel my my throat, my whatever that fucking thing's called. Yeah, I can feel that, you know, everything's opening up, and that's due to fighting for my recovery. I'm a creator of wasAaddict. I do have a Facebook page, same writing as here on YouTube, and I do appreciate if you guys follow, subscribe, and just leave a comment. Yeah, I'm here to share my testimony, and, you know, I run a beautiful business with some amazing products that I'm using. I have been using for the last year, and it's just, everything's changing for the better now. And it's this 4th year is about really understanding everything. You know, everything is really at a peace now. It's time to just enjoy it, you know, because I'm not scared of my past now, because the past is gone. Not completely, but it's still there, but mainly gone. Now it's about me living for me enjoying life, and not having to worry that addiction is going to go, come on, it's not there anymore. Because you know why? Because I don't want to throw those 3 years away, because that was hard yakka. But those first 3 years, I said to myself, fuck, I wish I could drink, but I can't. I'm in recovery. So now it's a different mind frame too. When we all go through that, we start to experience things differently, but you have to keep on edge. You have to keep on top of your recovery. You know, motivation goes from unmotivated to habit. So when you go from motivation and then you get to the unmotivation section, and you'll know because you just don't want to do anything. Get through it, because then it comes a habit. All right, guys, happy recovery.